Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rocket video. Here is a comment from Kelly Iko, who is a reporter, kind of follows the Houston Rockets, works for The Athletic. He's kind of like a big guy for the Houston Rockets in the media world. Here is what he said. The first day of camp is still too early to make definitive calls, but The Athletic understands there have already been a grouping in scrimmages. The first team, who wore black, consisted of Green, Porter, Tice, Wood, and Tate, and Gordon. So, honestly, this is a little bit of a surprise to me. The way I had always kind of viewed the starting lineup for the Houston Rockets was Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jae'Sean Tate / Daniel House Jr. Because, if you watch my video, I really want Daniel House Jr. to get some starts. Then at number 4, I want Christian Wood, and then at number 5, I want Daniel Tice right there. The thing is, I really like this lineup because of a couple of different reasons. Number one, I'm not even going to think about Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. because they should both start, no hesitation. The biggest reason is because I want to see Jae'Sean Tate offensively, and I feel like Jae'Sean is a little too good to be coming off the bench. Maybe he would be a good sixth man. However, the way he finished last season, the way he played last season, first team all rookie, I want to give him as many reps as possible. I think that's the way he's going to improve, especially offensively. And so I really just want to see him start for majority of the games next season, or at least if he's not starting, to close games. But I really want to see Jae'Sean Tate start, or at least start majority of games, fall above the 30-minute mark. And I just want to see offensively what he worked on in the offseason to see, is this a player? Is this a really good long-term fit for us? Or even at his age, is he a little bit too old? If he's not going to mold into a star, but he's going to be a very prominent player, what's the future of Jae'Sean Tate? And so I really just want to see Jae'Sean get a couple of starts start for a couple of different reasons. Number 2, Daniel Tice. I would love Daniel Tice to start just because I really want to see him not him personally. I want to see somebody not named Christian Wood take the beating night in and night out. If we were to run a lineup consisting of, let's say, for example, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Eric Gordon at 3, Jae'Sean Tate at 4, and Christian Wood at 5, who's going to guard, when we play the Timberwolves, who's guarding Cat? Christian Wood. When we play the Nuggets, who's, Joel Embiid, all these big centers, Rudy Gobert, it's going to be Christian Wood's duty. It's going to be his responsibility, which isn't a huge issue, but I would love to see Christian Wood not have that responsibility so we can see what he can provide us on the offensive end. I think if he's exerting all this energy trying to even just hold his own on defense, and it does look like he got a little bit bigger, it just doesn't seem as ideal. Why not just throw in Daniel Tice at 5, 25 minutes a night, rotate him in with Alfred Sengun, and have Christian Wood go back to his normal position, the position that he loves and grew up playing at number 4, the power forward. To me, that is just a very good option. And so I don't really want to see Eric Gordon start. I don't think Eric Gordon really should start unless we're having a lot of offensive issues. That's when I could see Eric Gordon being very useful for him. But to me, a lineup of KPJ, Jalen Green, Jae'Sean Tate / Daniel House Jr., but mainly Jae'Sean. Number 4, you're looking at Christian Wood, and then at 5, you're looking at Daniel Tice with heavy minutes out of Alfred Sengun. It's honestly just kind of difficult to not like that. It's difficult to not like that. So Eric Gordon, I would be fine with running that lineup here and there. A Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Eric Gordon. Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. I'd be down to run that against smaller teams. Maybe, for example, like the Toronto Raptors. I know the Toronto Raptors aren't like small, but they play small ball more than most teams, and so that's a lineup I wouldn't be upset with if we came out starting. Like, that's a good starting lineup. At closing, defensively, I think that's going to pose a little too many issues because it's not like any of the guys in the backcourt are good defenders. Like, just to be honest with you, none of them are really like known for defense at all. So, long term wise, I don't think that's a great idea. It's super interesting as long as here's what I'm a little concerned about. Not Jayshawn Tate. I'm a little worried Eric Gordon starts for Jalen Green instead. However, I don't think that'll happen. That's something to me that like Steven Silas would love to do. Like, oh, he's a rookie. Let's have him come off the bench for the first half of the season. It's something I wouldn't be shocked at. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it will happen, but that's something to me. This was something I wasn't too against. In fact, I was kind of for benching Jalen Green if John Wall was going to be starting. And then that was like my initial thought. And then I realized having a backcourt of John Wall and Kevin Porter Jr. isn't that, like, defensively, I don't think having Jalen Green at number 3, like, we weren't going to be a good defensive team with those two guards as our backcourt anyways. So why not get a guy like Jayshawn Tate and Daniel Theis in the starting lineup to kind of help up and make up for it? So I don't even think it's really worth thinking about Jalen Green coming off the bench because I just don't think it'll happen. But that was something I was actually kind of for to begin with, like a lineup of, I don't even want to think about it because there's no point. But Eric Gordon starting, there's no reason. The only reason is offensive issues. If Eric Gordon was struggling off the bench, then maybe give him a couple of starts because, like I said, we need to trade Eric Gordon soon. And I actually saw a comment yesterday saying Eric Gordon's final year is only if the Houston Rockets win the championship. I don't know if that is legit. I don't know if it's not legit. I don't know. If anyone knows the answer to that, go ahead and comment it down below. But either way, we have at least 2 more years left of Eric Gordon. So, to me, I think we got to trade him at some point in the season before it becomes untradeable. But that's just me. I know a lot of you guys want to keep Eric Gordon here. So that's going to be it for today. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. I would also love to see David Nwaba get a couple of starts. I made a video about that not too long ago. But Daniel House, David Nwaba, Jayshawn Tate kind of in there at the 3 position. I expect to see a multitude of different lineups for the Rockets this next season. Not as crazy as last year where we had the most ever because of injuries and COVID and all that. But I do expect to see a bunch of different variations in the offensive or in the starting lineup. At least in the preseason, at least in the first month of the season. So that's going to be it for today. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. Peace.